Good morning and welcome to all. Broadcast for more than 30 years, The Simpsons is more than just an animated series. It is one of the most cult cartoons in the world because it has made millions of people, young and old, laugh through the crazy adventures of Homer and his family, crazy and insane characters. And it's no longer a secret for anybody, you must surely be aware that the series has managed to predict the future several times. Indeed, facts that happened in the episodes actually took place in real life a few years after their release. However, what is still mysterious is how did the authors of The Simpsons manage to predict these things with a disconcerting accuracy. So, if you too are asking yourself the same question, make yourself comfortable, today we have the answer for you. But we're warning you that this is a delusion. Let's get started. The Simpsons, more than a show. It is undoubtedly one of the most famous families in the world. The Simpsons is an American animated television series originally created by Matt Groening and broadcast since December 17, 1989 on the Fox network, which is now owned by the Walt Disney Company. A series that features Homer's crazy characters Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie and Homer's father Abe, the stereotype of a middle-class American family by excellence. Their adventures, serving up a satirical view of the American lifestyle, are known to juggle surrealism and humor. From its inception, the series has been a huge success and has garnered dozens of awards, including 32 Primetime Emmy Awards, 30 Annie Awards and a Peabody Award. In December 1999, it was named the best television series of the century by Time magazine, and a month later, she received her famous star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. A well-deserved star. Release of the new season, more predictions, maybe. The Simpsons have always had a great influence and weight in the world of television and popular culture. Each character differs from the other and each portrays a very particular stereotype of society, whether it be in the middle class, around the business world, or even in the American political and media landscape. Today the series has 31 seasons, more than 650 episodes, and may even have new seasons coming soon. Indeed, on February 6, 2019, the series was officially renewed for 2 more seasons, allowing it to surpass 700 episodes in time, that is to say, a broadcast until 2021. Disturbing predictions. In addition to having made thousands of people around the world laugh, The Simpsons have also intrigued many. The extravagant characters were as much marked by their unusual humor as by their strange predictive power. Here are a few selected examples and believe us, this selection was not easy to make as the choice was huge. In 1999, in the 5th episode of Season 11, radiation creates mutant tomatoes in the world of The Simpsons. 14 years later, it is in real life that we discover that the nuclear radioactivity of Fukushima produces the same damage to living beings as well as flora. In 2008, in the 4th episode of Season 20 entitled Simpson Horror Show 19, during the votes, the machine turned out to be rigged because it changed Homer's vote for Obama into a vote for McCain. And surprise! In 2012, in Pennsylvania during the presidential elections, machines were actually changing the vote for Obama into a vote for his rival Mitt Romney. In an episode of Season 6 in 1995, in Lisa's future, there is a poster of the Rolling Stones' 2010 tour hanging on the wall. In 2012, the members of the band, as if by chance, take their guitars back for a new tour. In another episode in 2002, even before the video game Guitar Hero was released, musicians Mick Jagger and Keith Richards gave Homer a Guitar Hero jacket. 3 years later, a game of the same name was released for the first time. Strange unless its creator was inspired by it. In 1993, in an episode we could see Gunter and Ernst, 2 magicians being attacked by their white tiger. In October 2003, German magicians Siegfried and Roy were actually attacked by their own tiger in Las Vegas during a performance on the Mirage stage. Yes, this prediction is very accurate, and yet it happened. In 1995, in The Simpsons, the phones of the future were already capable of making video calls. How could they have guessed that a few years later, FaceTime would appear? Add to this the unlikely election of Donald Trump, the transformation of Bruce Williams into Caitlyn Jenner, the prediction of the Ebola pandemic that turned out to be real 17 years after the broadcast, the fish in 3 eyes, and the list goes on and on. But the most astounding is the 9/11 attack and the financial crisis in Greece. More predictions. The date of the fall of the Twin Towers would also have been predicted. Indeed, an incredibly disturbing image in episode 1 of season 9 seemed to predict the terrible attacks of September 11, 2001. In the episode, The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson, aired on September 21, 1997, there is a pamphlet promising New York at $9 a day and showing the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center placed next to each other. If one considers that each tower reads like the number 1, together with the price displayed, the overall picture reads 9/11. We would then be tempted to believe that this double silhouette forms the date of the attacks of September 11, 2001. Since then, the episode, The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson, has been temporarily withdrawn from the series' distribution circuit and partially censored. Intriguing, isn't it? One more for the road. In the 10th episode of season 23 entitled Politically Inept, Homer is invited on a TV set for a political interview. And in the banners that circulate at the bottom of the screen we can clearly read in the news of the world of Springfield, Europe puts Greece on eBay. Does it remind you of something? 3 years later, Greece went through a huge crisis to such an extent that nobody knew what to do with its debt. The experts' explanations. All these predictions then gave rise to a large number of theories as to the existence of a conspiracy involving in the first place the creators of The Simpsons, and mainly Matt Groening. Does this theory exist, or is it just us who are getting a little paranoid? To answer this question, the philosopher John Donaldson, author of a course specially devoted to The Simpsons at the University of Glasgow in Scotland, first mentioned coincidences. He recalled that unlikely coincidences exist in life and that they could be, on their own, a plausible explanation. Referring to Donald Trump's election to the presidency, he said the authors had decided simply to make a joke about Trump because it seemed so ridiculous that he might one day tread the carpets of the Oval Office. Donaldson believes that this would be an effect of paranoia and that viewers are more likely to grasp the real world by combining news and fiction. In fact, many avant-garde works in the past have been seen as premonitory, such as Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, which predicted with great accuracy what the world would look like today. According to the philosopher, it is useless to see screenwriters as potential seers and that it is preferable to bring a rational explanation to this phenomenon, which is surreal. But is this explanation really convincing? Another philosopher named William Irwin, author of The Simpson and Philosophy, also supports the same theory as his colleague. According to him, the series, The Simpsons, has an incredibly high rate of jokes per minute and that many of them go beyond what is real, and this is the best way, according to him, to anticipate things that could turn out to be real in the future. But by this very admission, William Irwin argues that the authors of the series do not owe their talent of prophecy to coincidences only. They also owe it to a higher-than-average intelligence. The philosopher also added that The Simpsons, as an author's series, was governed by authors and not by actors. All of them are involved in the direction of each episode and tend to have outstanding intelligence, some of them being graduates of great universities such as Harvard or Berkeley. We quote for example David Cohen, who studied theoretical computer science, and who justly wrote the famous equation of The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace because let us recall that Homer Simpson had discovered in an episode in 1998, the equation allowing to calculate the mass of the Higgs boson 14 years before scientists. According to the philosopher's thinking, the series is full of references and allusions to art, literature, pop culture, politics, science and more, so it would be logical if not inevitable to find surprising predictions in it, all the more so when it is people of extreme intelligence who produce it. What do the authors of the series have to say about it? When they were asked, different authors and creators of the series had, in almost all respects, the same explanations as to the philosophers and analysts who have studied the phenomenon. When they were asked about it, the creator and executive producer of the series, Matt Groening, went into logical reasoning and explained that generally in the creative process, he takes the most improbable, absurd and ridiculous event, something impossible, something that will never happen, to somehow defy fate and as if by pure coincidence, it happens. For his part, The Simpsons executive producer Matt Selman gave a less rational answer. He confided that thinking about the worst things inevitably ends up attracting them, which he believes to be a boomerang effect or karma. As for Al Jean, showrunner and another producer of the series, said that this phenomenon is similar to a game of darts. If you throw enough darts, you will eventually hit the target, he said. In his words, he hypothesizes that when a lot of smart people start imagining things in the future, one of them will happen. An almost mathematical logic according to him. But it is hard to believe that these are mere coincidences. In any case, we have to get used to this idea unless another prediction confirms the conspiracy theory in the future. And that's what the future will tell us. Some of the predictions of the creators of The Simpsons are really impressive, don't you think? We loved the prediction of the financial crisis in Greece that left us speechless. How about you guys? Which one impressed you the most? What do you think of this phenomenon? Is it a conspiracy theory or are they just coincidences? Tell us what you think in the comments.